Welcome back, it's your lousy Florida gardener. Today I'm going to show you how to plant some banana trees. We're going to dig up this bed of ginger and plant some banana trees where this ginger is. Before you decide to plant these, you need a few basic tools. You need your shovel, I'm sure you know that if you garden, but you need some black cow manure. There ain't nothing like black cow manure when it comes to banana trees. You need a bag to put to a hole, and I would suggest you plant no less than 4 trees. All the research I did showed that banana trees did better the more there were in a clump. They kind of create their own environment that creates the biological needs in the soil. So I wouldn't suggest planting any less than 4. If you only got 1 or 2, somebody give you, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. I did experiment, they did survive, they just didn't thrive as good. So we're gonna get started right here. The first thing I'm gonna do, I suggest to plant those 4, we're gonna dig about a 3 to 4 foot round circle right here. And that way, we'll have plenty of medium to work with. We're gonna throw that into a wheelbarrow and mix our manure with it. So let's get started. For the record, landscape timbers are junk. Don't waste your money. They will not hold together. So we got our ginger out of the way. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna dig us a hole here about 3 to 4 foot in diameter. So we got our hole cut here. Around the edges is about 12 inches deep. Kind of slopes down to about 15. About roughly 3 foot wide. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle. If you come across small roots and stuff, cut them. But big roots, you can work around them. Now, this dirt that you're looking at, I had to put in 2 wheelbarrows. I'm gonna go through it now. This is not dark dirt. We've had a lot of rain here in North Florida. Everything's wet. If it wasn't for that, what you'd see in there'd be sand. Now, I have mixed some cow manure in this hole before with the ginger. That's helped it a little bit, but like I say, if it was dry, that'd be just sand, old sugar sand. They say here in my town when you live down in the sand hills. Now at this point, I take me a stiff tooth rake and I just work that back and forth, and I pick all the roots and stuff out of it. Now, if you're digging up a bed where you had something before, like this is part of that ginger, I like to keep me a bucket when I'm out here digging up a bed. So as you go through it, you can pick out them pieces, because you can replant them. And then any kind of other root junk, I just make me a little pile to pick up later. But what we're gonna do is work both of these back and forth till it's good and broke up and we got all the trash out of it. Then we're gonna take a bag of black cow manure and mix half a bag to each one of these and pour it back in the hole. We gotta work this out first. When I say work it, I mean chop it. Take it in small pieces. Start at the bottom of your pile and just chomp it through. Be looking for roots, things like that. And work it back and forth 3 or 4 times. When you get it all to this end, go back to the other end. Now, we'll take our black cow manure and we'll pour about a half a bag in each one of these. And if you had the money, you could actually put 2 bags to each hole for banana trees and be fine. But you need some. Banana trees love water and they love organic material. So you definitely want to have as much of that possible as you plant when you first start these out. And if you have a composter and you make compost, hey, that's fine. That's just as good. Now we're going to do the same process. We're gonna just work that in to our soil and just keep working it just like you did when you was getting it all broke up. Now, once all your organic materials broke up, you wanna mix it into your hole. You can either shovel it in. On a hole this size, when I'm using carts, I just dump it in. So we got our dirt back in our hole. Now we're gonna shape our hole. Pull your dirt and try to level it out as best you can. And get it over your hole. Now, what I like to do is I like to come around the edges of my hole whenever my trees are planted and create a ring before I mulch. These three I dug up from my plants. They don't have the best root stock, but they ought to have enough. If I keep them watered, they'll survive. This one was given to me by someone else. This is what we're gonna plant today. Now I know that I got 4 plants that I want to plant. So I'm gonna kind of put me a little mark there on how I want those. Now for the one in the pot, we're gonna have to dig back out a small hole. Nothing important there really. I'm gonna put it on that corner. So we'll just move that dirt out, pull our plant out. And you want your root ball about even with what is there. When you're done, pack the dirt in around the bottom and just pull it in. And we want to get down to our ground level. There's just another root, not the level of our hill, because when we're done, we will be on a slight hill, but not a tall hill. All right. Now we got another one that we dug up. Well, we don't have that dirt to contend with. We can just come right here beside it with our hand and dig us a hole and pack that dirt around them. Same way with these. You see there ain't much root stock, but there is some root stock on it. The key to it is, over the next 2 weeks, to keep them wet. And put them deep enough that you can pack dirt around them where they'll stand up. Now what I like to do is pull any excess dirt from around the edge while making a ring up to the center. And what that ring will do is allow it to be able to funnel the water to them. All right, now we got to mulch it. When you're putting this mulch in, I use leaves and pine straw. You may choose to use cypress for aesthetics. One will work good as the other. Don't be cheap with it. You want it thick. That's going to retain your moisture, not only with the weeds, but retains your moisture. Pull it back off of your plants a little bit. You don't have to be as critical as you do on other plants for banana trees, but you don't want your trees covered in it. The more mulch you have, the better they're going to grow, because they thrive on water, just like elephant ears. They need that water. Don't be stingy with your mulch. And that's pretty much it. Now what we'll do is we'll water this in good, get it really, really wet. For the first 2 weeks, you need to water it in all the time. These things love water, but it also, once you get them established, they can go through drought periods and they just won't grow. But when you first plant them, like, especially with a little root stock like some of them had, they need a lot of water. Now, once you see them go to shooting up new shoots, you can hit them with about 8 ounces of 10-10-10 once a month. The first year. Second year, you go ahead and hit them with about 16 ounces of 10-10-10 once a month, and all the water you can put to them. That's pretty much it. That's how you plant them. Appreciate y'all joining me.